Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. We're here going to be doing a review of the Cruiser 2, which is one of the newest British vehicles in World of Tanks Blitz. It's a nice little Tier 2 British light tank. And I need to check what's in this box. Credits, because I don't have enough of them. But anyway, yes, it's a very nice Tier 2 light tank. Well, Tanks Blitz. So 5% protection, 13% firepower, 15% shot effectiveness, and 31% maneuverability. So starting off, 300 horsepower, 300 hit points. Sorry. Which, well, let's have a look at some of the other Tier 2 lights. Got the Panzer II, which has got 320. T7 combat car, which has got 290. Tetrarch, 270. Micro Mouse, which has got 265 with the boost to hit point boost equipment. 300 for the R35, and yeah, it's sort of average, slightly above average actually. It's probably more of the top on the amount of hit points at Tier 2. So there is that thing to note. Armour, however, absolutely terrible. 14 at the front, 10 at the sides and rear, 14 all round on the turret. Yep, terrible armour. Nothing's going to really bounce off of you. You're lucky if some autocannons bounce, but absolutely nothing else will bounce off of you whatsoever. But yeah, that is something to note. It's got a alright amount of hit points, but again, very fragile, something which is common with the low tier British vehicles up to Tier 4. As for manoeuvrability, a 13-ton tank with a 150 horsepower engine, which again is not that great compared to the Cruiser 2, which has got a Nuffield Liberty 340 horsepower engine, and it weighs 14 tons. And that is something which that is a trend actually with this line, which will continue from the Cruiser 1 to the Cruiser 2, where the others are the more traditional cruiser tanks, whereas these ones, they're still technically cruisers, but they're rather more sluggish. As you can see, this is sort of like the Valentine chassis, or at least the Valentine suspension, as you will note, because it does build up to the Valentine, which I still hate. But yes, so 40 kilometers per hour speed limit, but yeah, it's never really going to make it up to that. Quite honestly, it's really underpowered. It's got a very terrible power to weight ratio, and the acceleration is also pretty terrible. So that is still something to note. It's got also a pretty slow traverse speed, 30.6 2 degrees per second hull traverse, which is, well, it's not that bad. It's also not that great. There are some heavy tanks which have got quicker traverse speeds, and this is a light tank. The turret traverse, however, almost 50 degrees per second, which is a very good traverse speed. Let me just... there we go. So if we just add on those, what does that change it to? 31 and 50. So yeah, 50 degrees per second, 48. Doesn't really matter. 47, 48. It's still a very quick traverse speed and not a very good hull traverse speed. So yeah, that is something to note. The maneuverability is not as good. The reverse speed is pretty abysmal. So that is still something for you to note. As for the engine, yeah, 20% chance of fire and impact, an AEC Type 197, yeah, not very good. Horsepower's 150 horsepower, yeah, pretty terrible. As for the turret, there's only, well, there is one turret. There's two turrets actually. The Cruiser Mark 1, and then you've got the Cruiser Mark 3. Neither of them really change much. This gets 2 less side armour and a slightly slower traverse speed, but other than that, nothing really to note. They have the same view range. So yeah. As for suspension, the A9 Mark 1, yeah, not much there. 14-ton load limit. Yeah. You're actually at the limit of your load limit, aren't you? Well, just about 1 ton in it. But then you've got the guns. So you've got a choice of 2 guns. You've got the 40mm pom-pom, and you have got the 2-pounder Mark. What is that? 9. The 2-pounder Mark 9, which is still a very respectable gun. Both of them are decent guns. The 2-pounder is more of a sniper gun, or a peekaboo gun, I suppose you could say. It's got a 16.69 rate of fire rounds per minute. It's got a 64mm of penetration with AP, 121 with APCR, 12 with HEs, but then it's a 40mm AP, 40mm HE, sorry, shot. So yeah, pretty terrible. 45 average damage, 40 with APCR, 60 with HE. Yeah, again, 40mm. You know, it's exactly the same. 0.34 accuracy, 4.2 second aim time. Very good accuracy. Well, at least good accuracy. And it's also got a very good aim time. That's a very quick aim time. And yeah, it's more of the suited to the sniper role. But then you've got the 40mm pom-pom, which is the burst fire damage. 3 shells in the magazine, 0.63 between each shell, and an 8.51 total magazine reload time. 49 average pen with APCR, so it does go down, but it's with AP, sorry. AP with 49 millimeters of pen, so yeah, it does go down, but it's still decent enough to get through tier 2 and some of the tier 3 tanks. 71 with APCR, so yeah, decent enough. The HE 12, again, yeah, 40mm, terrible HE pen. 45 average damage with AP, 40 with APCR, 60, yeah, doesn't change at all. 0.45 dispersion, it's very inaccurate, but the aim time is still very good, 4.3 seconds. Going too quick. But yeah, still good aim time. And it is more of a burst damage, hide back into cover for another 8.5 seconds. But that doesn't detract from it. It is still a very good gun. You're putting out 90, about 125 average damage. Yeah, something like that. About 125 average damage in about a second and a half, which is a lot of damage actually in a second and a half for tier 2. And yeah, it's a very decent burst gun. And I do like it. I think it is a good gun to mount. You carry a lot of ammo for it, 160 rounds of 40mm pom-pom, and you're never really going to fire off that much in a battle, no matter how much you want to shoot at aircraft with it, because it is, after all, an anti-aircraft gun, 40mm pom-pom. So yeah, you can go ahead and juggle around with as much of that ammo as you want. As for provisions, standard fuel, 3% engine power and turret traverse, then you've got black tea, 3% to crew mastery, then you've got protective kit, 15% to protection of crew from injuries, 10% speed and modular repair, 20% fire protection, and 10% ammo and fuel tank durability. So yeah, nothing's changed much there. You can go ahead and mount some of them if you want. As for consumables, you got your standard repair, first aid, fire extinguisher. Then you got engine power boost, 20% to engine power for 15 seconds. Then you got the multi-purpose restoration pack, which is those 3 things rolled into one. No adrenaline. As you all note, due to the fact that this is the pom-pom, I think if you change it to the 2-pounder, it will give you adrenaline, but for the 40mm pom-pom, there is no adrenaline. So you can go ahead and mount them if you want. Then you've got the equipment. Now, as you can see, you've got improved vents, as the first one here. Oh, I don't want to do that. You've got improved vents, or you've got calibrated shells, and calibrated shells is nice to get over 50mm of penetration. However, the benefits given by the improved vent for improving all of the crew skills is arguably better, so I would say improved vents over the calibrated shells. Then I would say improved modules, because the engine damage, it is nice to not have less of a chance of engine damage, but honestly the fire and ammo durability is probably better, so I would say improved modules. Then coated optics. If you're going for the sniper loadout with the 2-pounder, then Camanet might benefit you more. However, for the 40mm pom-pom, due to the inaccuracy of it, I would say definitely the coated optics would be better. Then I would say supercharge for the extra shell velocity and the decreased penetration with distance, due to the fact that 4.2 seconds or 4.3 seconds aim time is a very good aim time anyway. So yeah, I would say definitely go with the supercharge over the enhanced gun lane drive. Then definitely improved assembly, 14mm of armour, absolutely terrible. You're going to gain about 1, if that, 1 or 2mm extra to your thickest armour with enhanced armour. So definitely improved assembly for the increased HP, more survivability that way. Then I would say engine accelerator, because, or actually no, I wouldn't. I would say improved control, because the traverse speed being 30 degrees per second, it's not that great, honestly. That's pretty poor for a light tank. So I would say definitely go with improved control, get it up to 35 degrees per second, which is an improvement. Then I would say refined gun, get it down to 0.4 accuracy. Whilst that's still not great accuracy, it is a lot better than 0.45 sorry, accuracy. So yeah, I would say definitely the refined gun, far more useful now that it gives minus 10% dispersion rather than just minus 5. So yeah, definitely refined gun. Then your choice really of those two, and then your choice of whatever the hell those two things are. So overall, I think it is a very nice tier 2 light tank. You only get 3 shells on the magazine rather than 4, which is unfortunate. However, it is a nice nice light tank to be rolling around in. It's got good burst damage from that 40mm pom-pom, and yeah, I think it's just a decent enough tier 2 tank. It's got also pretty decent gun depression due to this gap between this weird box thing and the actual gun. So yeah, it's got very good gun depression, which means you can poke ridges very effectively, and that is something to note, because 1,000 spare parts, thank you very much. So yeah, decent gun depression is the last thing I'll say, and yeah, that is the Cruiser 1, sorry. I'll thank you all for watching, and goodbye.